are under an air quality alert. Smoke from wildfires burning in Canada drifting across the tri-state area. It is making the skies hazy and making for potentially dangerous conditions, especially for people with respiratory issues.
We are also on the lookout for some spot showers. Let's get our first look at the exclusive AccuWeather forecast with Sam Champion.
Hey, David Shirley. Yeah, the air quality is the huge issue, and it's not just a today thing. You know, we've been talking about this for a little bit. We've been talking about these wildfires in Canada, mostly in the western parts of Canada for the last couple of weeks, from all the way through on the western edge, all the way to the eastern edge. But now these fires are burning in Quebec, just a little bit to the north of us. So the smoke and haze that you see out there right now is in a direct dive from northern areas. Right now, we're starting with temperatures in the 70s, like 72 degrees in Central Park, 73, 79 in Newark, 76 right on the Jersey Shore. And we do have those watches and warnings that are out. Jeff's going to lead us on some of that. I want to show you what's happening down here with some of these thunderstorms that are clearing the area right now. This has been in the forecast again for later on this afternoon. But because we're talking about the smoke concentration, and some of it is unhealthy and some of it is pretty heavy around the area, how does this play out over the next couple of hours? Right around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, when you see the purple levels and you go off to the chart here, it's actually off the chart. It's the heaviest smoke concentration, and it's dropping into central New York State, goes into Boston, kind of comes out through Rhode Island as well. Heavy smoke is across the city, and much lighter concentrations back off through a good part of northern New Jersey. Then that kind of cleaner air moves down through New Jersey. We get into some of the heavier smoke later on in the afternoon. By the time we get into the overnight, we get a break out of this. You can see the smoke is kind of coming in rounds and waves. Now that means our air quality is not good. It's unhealthy in some
Like
parts
earlier
of the
at school, when
area.
were dismissing, it was not that bad, but then when we got home, it was kind of bad.
So hazy is when I woke up this morning. You could barely see the sun coming up. Check out some of those wildfires that have been burning in Canada. Over 400 of them, and about 150 of them are out of control over Quebec in particular, like Sam was mentioning. And of course, that smoke comes in from the north with that northerly wind kind of circulating around this area of low pressure over eastern New England, and it heads into our area and just makes for that hazy sky. And not only is this smoke causing hazy skies and is aloft, it's actually mixed all the way down to the surface and is really impacting our air quality. Check out that air quality alert that we have in effect. This is in effect right through tomorrow night at midnight. I wouldn't be shocked if it gets extended thereafter. And these are the current air quality numbers in our area. So much of the area in orange, which means it's unhealthy for sensitive groups. If you have a heart or lung condition, you want to avoid any type of strenuous activity outdoors. And then there's even some red zones in there, including parts of Queens and the Bronx and parts of southwestern Connecticut.
Shit, that's where my dad lives. I mean, that's where my dad is working right now.
It's
on his way
unhealthy
back.
for everyone, and you really want to avoid extended time outdoors in those red zones. So the smoke will hang around for the next couple of days, as Sam was showing you there in that smoke futurecast. A negative impact on air quality in the tri-state area, so really try to avoid that strenuous physical outdoor activity. And of course, we have some other weather to talk about this afternoon, right? Some showers and storms, Sam?
Yeah, definitely. And Jeff, I want to go over again how this is in and out. So air quality is basically, when you see those air quality monitors around the area, they're good for about a quarter of a mile, because air quality is different neighborhood to neighborhood. And particularly with this dense smoke that's dropping in, some areas will get kind of really heavily covered in this dense smoke. So look at the areas of purple as we go into Wednesday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That means we would have had a pretty decent overnight with air quality, but then we begin the trip back into the heavy smoke particles that are rotating around this upper level low that's just off northern parts of Maine and parts of Nova Scotia. So again, all of this wildfire coming from the fires in Canada, all this wildfire smoke dropping across the area. At some points, skies are a little bit better than others. So we've got some storms that are coming scattered around the area, but we're really going to be in the smoke for the next couple of days. We'll deep dive into our forecast and also about your air quality when we come back in just a minute. David?
Sam, that was so informative. You and Jeff, really appreciate it. You know, these images from the EPA show the dramatic change in our air quality in just the last 24 hours. And you can keep up with the changes simply by clicking on the link. It's on our homepage at ABC7NY.